Sukuna struggles to find the spotlight in Jujutsu Kaisen's first season. He's a character that's immensely powerful and villainous, the king of curses. Yet he's underdeveloped and often far too ambiguous to leave an impactful presence in the first season. All we get from Sukuna is his sinister nature, refusing to support Yuji, even despising him, plotting his return, laying the groundwork that won't be seen for a whole season later. What he does do well is convey the power that curses can reach, and more importantly, a level that our heroes need to achieve. What we do get of Sukuna's characterization is splendid and for sure entertaining. The issue is that is all we get from him. After his fight with Megami, his screen time moving forward with the season is vastly reduced. Through interactions with Sukuna, we discover more about Itadori and Megami, whether that be Megami has hidden potential or that Yuji has some innate power. They bond over their shared confrontation with Sukuna, whereas Sukuna doesn't get the same treatment in the narrative. It's here I'd like to mention that this video is safe for anime onlys. I won't be touching on the manga past season 2's endpoint, but if you are a manga reader, I strongly encourage you to stay with the video, as these points are relevant to the series overall, and make for some seriously good talking points. If you do want to talk about the manga and stuff that happens later in the series, make sure to join the Discord, link below. Also, make sure to like and subscribe, that type of stuff. Thanks. With Season 1 Sukuna having a reduced role, it paved the way for what ends up being the primary antagonist of JJK's anime thus far, Stitch Ghetto. Someone who I can't quite label a villain during Season 1, but an individual who works in tandem with various special grade curses, scheming and plotting against the sorcerers. With ample screen time and development, he greatly outshines Sukuna, resulting in Sukuna taking a backseat not just in Yuji, but at the start of the story too. One of the few good attributes of Sukuna is the finger dilemma. Dividing his power up and connecting that to Yuji's role in the narrative is intrinsically interesting. It allows Yuji to develop in both strength as a sorcerer, but also as a character, while Sukuna simultaneously regains his own strength. This had the potential to create some well-written interplay between what I thought would be the primary back and forth of the protagonist and antagonist. Instead, the approach for Yuji is someone lost in his role inside of the Jujutsu Society, and Sukuna patiently waiting for his fingers to be returned to him, seemingly missing the opportunity to take full advantage of their early dynamic. For someone who holds so much weight in the narrative, I'd hoped we'd see more of Sukuna, his thoughts, his motives, and I'm not asking for his entire backstory or plans laid out in front of us. Intrigue is important. In saying that, leaving an audience with only intrigue can cause trouble. When I finished Season 1, my care for Sukuna's role in the narrative outside of what he meant for Yuji was, well, minimal, left with only hopes that the character would get more attention moving forward. It wasn't until the second season that Sukuna finally got the time to shine, with his plans actually developing from controlling Yuji to teaching Maharaga how to feint and saving Megami. Sukuna's torment isn't anywhere near the same level between the two seasons. In fact, it's incomparable. Sukuna is a character I want to really latch onto, but in total, his screen time isn't even 10 minutes of roughly 8 hours. With his reappearance not coming until the concluding episodes of Season 2, that is nearly 40 episodes for Sukuna to finally shine like he should have. It is far too long. It's ridiculous and hard to sell for possible new viewers of the series. It's the classic, oh wait until X moment so many people dread hearing. There's ample room for Sukuna to get more spotlight earlier in the story. Things I wished we could have got are like seeing more of his aspirations, goals, motives, and even his traits, such as being a foodie. More small details that make him feel fleshed out. And that's for if you keep the approach Gege does of gradual progression. In contrast, Sukuna could have taken a larger, more active role like Stitch Ghetto. Being restricted inside of Yuji really dampens his potential to make decisions that affect the narrative. However, there's an angle where Sukuna could have manipulated Yuji, deceived, and attempted to control in an indirect manner, or perhaps had taken brief control more than a couple of times. resulting in Sukuna having that presence that actually shifts the story and causes hurdles for our protagonists. The constant tension between Yuji and Jujutsu High's higher-ups, more emphasis on whether it's even moral to keep Yuji for the sole purpose of ridding the world of Sukuna. With Sukuna breaking out more and causing more havoc, we see the other side as to why people are ordering for Yuji's death, playing into what Season 2 does so well, building towards that climax. Yuji even had a handling of restraining Sukuna by the end of Season 1, until Season 2 when he's overwhelmed with 15 fingers. My main point bringing up these hypotheticals is to show that Sukuna was wasted to a degree, comparing him to the likes of Stitch Ghetto, making this painfully obvious. Stitch Ghetto doesn't directly confront our protagonists, but masterminds the curses that do, moving them in place like a board of chess, outsmarting those at Jujutsu High at every turn, throwing Mahito at Yuji and Junpei, and Hanami at the school, each have their purpose to his grand design, all of which comes to fruition in Season 2. Ghetto essentially lays out his plan to us and helps contextualize the world of Jujutsu. Because he uses terminology that hadn't been fully covered yet, he's shrouded in mystery, making his intrigue far more engaging and interesting, as you're wondering how this guy has so much knowledge. An additional reason as to why Stitched Suguru outshines Sukuna could be attributed to how Sukuna is initially handled. In episode 1, Sukuna's finger is this powerful artifact oozing with cursed energy that scares Megami, our established connection to the Jujutsu world. He fears just one of the many fingers, as the name Sukuna is one to fear. So when Yuji eventually decides to eat the finger, Sukuna is brought out. A huge moment of shock and suspense. Yet, Sukuna's use and build-up are channeled into the narrative to highlight how strong Satoru Gojo is, as Sukuna proceeds to get clowned. All of that build-up is just sidelined right at the end, making Sukuna seem way less threatening to how he'd been talked about by Megami throughout the episode. Compare that to Stitch Ghetto, who avoids conflict, unable to be shown up. We see all of his plans executed to his design, building his reputation and threat as an opposing force. Conversely, Sukuna lays dormant, unable to have any major sway on Yuji and henceforth the narrative overall. It kinda sucks. Sukuna is a vastly entertaining character. From what we do get in Season 1, I adore it. He's described as the pinnacle of sorcery, stated as such by the known strongest of the modern era, Satoru Gojo. Going into Season 2, he's practically perfect and does everything I'd hoped he'd do, just to a lesser extent sooner in the series. It's clear that Sukuna can be this magnum opus of a villain. We're just starved of it to begin with, making it hard to convince new viewers to stick to the anime, as his role becomes more prominent. The story evolving to accommodate more of Sukuna is a fantastic aspect, but it should have come sooner, to really drive to the audience that Sukuna is someone to regard within the narrative as more than just some powerful curse, but a nuanced and detailed character with an extensive history and a real drive and hunger to achieve what he wants. The qualities of a true villain, a true antagonist for Yuji and the other sorcerers. I feel so robbed putting all this into words and perplexed with what could have been. But what do you think? What are your thoughts on how Jujutsu Kaisen uses Sukuna early in the series? Like always, let me know down below your guys' thoughts. And just quickly, the last few Jujutsu Kaisen videos have done less than I'd hoped, with this one probably also doing less than what we were expecting. What type of content do you guys want to see from us? I want to make content you guys really want to see, so any help would be appreciated. Other than that, I just have to thank our patrons. In the top mate tier, we have Nick. In the great mate tier, we have Colin and CJ, and for the good mates here, we have Jadu Sable. If seeing your name here at the end of videos or hearing your name be called out along with other great perks interests you, please make sure to follow the link in the description down below. Anyways, thank you so much for watching today's video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel with the notification bell turned on, and I will see you guys next time.